Okay.
Happy New Year
Happy.
Eve.
Not 100% sure how this is going to work. I have my mic, people. um, so I did put it out, and we'll see what happens. There's 5 people watching right now. It shows.
Well, I know on mine I've got Elaine.
Yeah, we don't have anyone on mine yet. So once they connect, it says 7 people, but I'm still. Oh, there we go. Elaine Martin. Happy New Year, Kim. Happy New Year. Oh, I got Aaron. Funny, Aaron popped in before Elaine after that. Then, so I've got Aaron, Elaine, Kim, Brandy, and Shay Shay.
Shay. I have to just check a name. Just give me a sec, because I met a young woman and she doesn't know if she was going to be on tonight. But just a minute.
Oh,
Her
same
name.
here.
Her name is Alicia, Alisha.
She's not there yet.
No, she doesn't know if she'll be able to make it, but I'd like us to pull a card for her.
Oh, that's fine. So basically what we're going to do tonight, Happy New Year's, everyone,
New Year.
is we are going to pull a card and tell you how we see your future. Okay? So remember, this is generic. We're pulling and based on that information or field that we're picking up now. And so I would say, write it down, anything. You're the tagger. Look at this. I've got a tagger right here. And really hope for the best for all of you. And remember that any medical, legal, financial advice, talk to someone who knows what they're doing. So we'll start with the person Penelope would like to pull a card for first, Alicia. Is that correct?
Yes, Alicia,
Okay.
a young woman who just started her own business as a cookie maker.
Okay. Well, you pull a card.
And guys, I'm using the Oracle deck my son bought me for Christmas. It's by Jane Struthers, and this is the Wisdom of Trees Oracle. So I've only just got it, and the first card I've picked for Alicia is Eastern Cottonwood. Aren't these cool cards? Now, I literally have to look these up because I don't know what they mean just yet.
This is the second time the cats have looked at my antlers and gone,
Yeah?
Yep. So this is going to take a little time tonight, so we're not in a rush. I booked this for a bit, so just bear with us. And if you miss your reading, remember you can come back and watch it at any time. And also to remind you, if you want a full reading in the new year, you can book with Penelope or myself. Penelope, you can get her on Facebook. In my case, let's see, you would go here to Readings by D'Arcy and you would book right there. Okay.
Well, you know what? Just a sec. We finally figured out this book. It took me a minute because it doesn't tell you that there's different sections of this. And this is actually considered a wisdom card, the Eastern Cottonwood. And this is a reminder, Alicia, that there is no division between you and other people and beings in this world. And whether you consider them living or not living, learn to connect with your spirits, learn to connect with yourself. And in honoring yourself, you honor your spirits, you honor your family. So just learn to hold on to that respect you have for yourself in the next year, and things will be much more successful for you.
All right. And I am using the Good Tarot deck by Colette Baron Reed. My friend Marion gave me a whole whack of cards that she doesn't use. So this is my first experience with the cards as well. So Aaron, I have for you 3 of air, and I haven't gone through the cards, so I have no idea. But what I think of this is surrender to a higher being, to allow universe and spirit to direct you. I feel as though there's a mother, so mother, grandmother, aunt, cousin, who's on one side and you're on the other, and they're leading you to where you need to be. So have patience is the other portion of this. And the Three of Air makes me think of taking time, research everything that as you move into it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Elaine is next.
Hi, Elaine. And for you, you get the second card I've ever chosen, which is the white mulberry. One of the cool things about this that I do know is the white mulberry tree is actually a tree that the Chinese consider to be a tree of the world, or a world tree, right? And it talks about renewal. And it says that for this next year, really do your best to connect with people around you using harmony as the key to your balance. Everything is about being harmonious. And that starts much like your respect. It starts inward and moves outward. So that's the prediction that the oracle cards are saying is practice moving forward with harmony with the universe. Don't keep fighting against everything so much.
Well, the other part of that card, which you didn't bring up, was the yin and yang. It's allowing both energies to come together so it becomes unified. So very much what you were saying, but you could have also, the yin and yang, it's a yes or no answer this year, basically.
Yeah.
So Kim, for you, I have the Eight of Earth, which looks like pentacles, and this is money. Okay, this is about finances. This is about rearranging, harvesting your money, but it's also about watching how your money grows. And the little, they look like dandelions. And I know as kids, we used to stick them under our chin to see if you like butter. Okay. And so anyways, Kim, it's about balance, but it's also about growth this year. So be prepared to grow, to learn, and don't be afraid to make mistakes, because with every mistake becomes a new avenue of how to learn something. So Brandy is next. Hello, Brandy.
Brandy, the juniper.
Nice
It's a gorgeous card. I have had very little time to really look at these cards, but one of the things the juniper talks about is that the juniper tree is considered the gatekeepers between one world and the next, and that this is a really good time for you in the next year. If you're interested in psychic ability, this is a good time for you to explore that psychic connection you have with the world, and also to really, really, although I don't believe in resolutions per se, there are people who write their intentions, and intentions are different than resolutions. So really make your intentions clear. People can't know what you want if you don't make yourself clear. And that's even when dealing with the psychic world. Spirit sometimes doesn't always know what it is you're looking for. If you go, oh, am I going to find true love? Well, Spirit doesn't necessarily answer the way you think it should.
That's true.
Spirit kind of goes, so you want true love. Maybe true love isn't someone that you think it is, like a partner. True love can be or a dog, or or a new child in your life. So be specific when you're asking.
Okay. So Shay, well, I'm slightly different, because for New Year's resolutions, I prefer to wait till my birthday, because that's the day my year starts. So if you're going to make a resolution, wait until your birthday. Okay, Shay, the tower represents change. And this is change inside the home. So you are going to feel things flow, change, maybe go back a little, do something else. But this is all about inside the home. This isn't outside in everyday walking life. This is about what's happening inside the home. So I'm going to say, check your plumbing, make sure everything's okay, But because the tower also represents your physical form, I'm going to say maybe this is a year for you to look after your health, to be on top of it.
Mm-hmm. I would agree with that.
Amanda is next.
Hello, Amanda. Happy New Year's Eve. Amanda, this card is the willow tree. Actually, if you noticed, not that most people had, but the borders around each of the trees, it actually signifies what one of the meanings of these cards. And the blue here represents rooting yourself. And the willow actually says just that. It's about they have the ability to root anywhere. That's why you have to be so careful when you're deciding, oh, I think I'll bring a willow tree to a place that never has willow trees, because willows can root anywhere and they can survive a great deal. And this talks about having a respect for your life and a respect for your relationships. And I'm not saying that you're disrespectful in your relationships, but we all become a little bit complacent in our relationships with the people we work with, the people we play with, our marriages, our partners, even with our animals and with ourselves. So it's another one of those cards that says really root yourself and really start building solid relationships.
Right.
Especially in this next year.
So Brandy has asked if we could also pull for her mom, Denise.
Okay.
And so I'm going to let you pull for Denise. I'll do Rachel. Or no, sorry, you do Rachel. I'll do Mr. Khan, and then you can pull for Denise. That's actually how it goes.
Sure.
So Rachel first. Rachel.
Okay. Let me find it.
Happy New Year's, Rachel and Mr. Khan.
Happy New Year, you guys. Okay, Rachel's who I'm doing it for?
Yep.
Hi, Rachel. This is the monetary pine. And this says to be guided. When you see a pine tree, be guided by your inner purpose. You ever looked at a pine cone? I mean, most people just sort of disregard them, but inside, if we disregard it, what we don't realize is inside is the potential for a tree, maybe several trees. And where we get lost is don't disregard your potential. So the pine cone knows that it's got the potential to be a tree. You need to remind yourself that you have the potential to be anything in this next year, and take this next year for what it is. It is a new beginning. Today is the end of everything. This is the last day of the year. It's finished. We can't go back and change it. We can't move forward if we're looking back at it. We have to remember that, especially with this card for you, it's saying, I know that I have a great deal of potential for growth, for well-being, for bringing in more income, for making my relationships with everyone I love and cherish solid. And make that your mantra for the next year.
Okay. Mr. Khan, Happy New Year's. Now, this is a continuation of a question you asked a little while ago. Am I following my path? And this says yes. As you journey forward, and the panda, as you can see, is and all the lights lighting your way, but this is working your way through the path, whether it's straight or curved or branches off in each direction. As you move forward, the panda will lead you to where you need to be. So this is about change and move, and I do think you're going to move again. A little farther away, because the panda to me is someone who's sturdy and he's out east. So you may be moving out towards Toronto sooner than you realize. Okay, so next is Denise.
Hi, Denise. I hope all is going well with you. I'm probably not going to say this right, but the card is called Pipal. It's about enlightenment. And this talks about how in the next year it would be very, very beneficial for you to sit down and spend some time practicing mindfulness. mindfulness isn't just being mindful of other people. Mindfulness actually has a great deal to do with us. It's about taking that little bit of time every day for reflection, whether it's through writing or meditation. I don't know. My sister bought me a really cool watch this year for Christmas. It's the Sense by Fitbit. And I have a membership with Fitbit already. And thank you again for the beautiful watch, Darce. But one of the things I like about it is they have a feature there that encourages you for 2 minutes a day to just sit still, put the palm of your hand on the top of your watch, and practice mindfulness, which is a form of meditation. Empty your mind and only think of one thing that you saw during that day that brought you joy, whether it's a sunrise or the way the steam was rising from the 4 feet of snow we have outside my patio door, or the way the clouds looked like they were frozen in the minus 35 wind without the wind chill sky today. But things like that. I know I'm making light, but for the next year, it is talking about mindfulness, which is caring for yourself, sweetheart.
All right.
You laugh at the minus 36. It is heading down to minus 40 tonight before the wind chill.
Well, actually, what I was laughing at is the fact that Victoria, where I am right now, I've been here, I think this is my 4th year. I'm heading into my 4th year, my 5th year. I've lost track. But in the time that I've been here, snow comes and it goes the next day. Well, snow came, more snow came, and it's still here. It's beautiful. Oh, okay, all except for the slush in the mud. But you know what? Victorian writes, haven't seen this kind of snow before. Sort of laughing because they plow, when they plow, they plowed in front of our car. So we got all this muck in front of our car. So being me in a 4-wheel drive, I just kept driving back and forth until I flattened it. Certainly everyone looked at me funny, but hey, that's what 4-wheel drive is all about, people. Okay, so next is Shar and then Kathy. Hello, Shar. You have the page of water. 2 things. A child on the way, and this makes me think that you really need the feathers stand out on her little headdress, and if you can see them, and the bird. And what it makes me think of is intuitive ability and someone by the name of Rose or Lily around you. So that could be family, and I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say they're past or alive. And that could be someone that's going to be talking to you, someone you are going to be talking to. But what I feel is that there's a lot of love and attention and goodwill for you this year. But one major important thing, you got to let go. The past is the past, honey. It's time to move to your future. And the more you hold on to that past and you stranglehold it, the more you stay stationary. So this year is about letting go.
So that is actually a really good piece of advice, honey. Letting go.
Okay, so Kathy is next. Hello, Kathy. Happy New Year's. We don't see you very often on the show anymore. You got Kathy.
Happy New Year. For you, the giant redwood. And this is talking about never underestimating yourself. Not your natural abilities or your personality. You have so much to offer the world that's moving into this new year. You dust off your shoes, pick out your favorite favorite shade of red lipstick. I believe all women need to own at least one shade of red lipstick.
Yeah.
There's one out there, I'm told, for everybody. But with confidence, find your favorite shade of lipstick and go out and wow the world with your style and your grace. No holding back this year.
And I'll loan you my antlers if they help any, you know. So Tracy, so we have Tracy and then we have Hilda, who I think has been on before, but I'm not sure. So Tracy, you're next, and I have the magician for you. And as we all know, I love the magician, but doesn't he look like Santa? You know, Christmas is come and gone. Now he's got on the greens and he's getting ready for next year. I can hardly wait. Anyways, Tracy, this is about forecasting. So this is you forecasting your own future. Contrary to about making a list of intentions, I think this card is saying go ahead and make those lists of intentions, because they may be you pick at one and you pick at another and you go for another one. It doesn't mean you're going to do them all at once. It just means you're going to take your time doing them. So I would say go ahead. This is the year for you to forecast where you want to be a year from now. So Hilda's next.
Hi, Hilda. I haven't seen you for a while. Happy New Year. Belated Merry Christmas. For you, the Black Elder. And the Black Elder talks about abundance. It talks about trusting in the abundance of the world around you. Concentrate on what you want to attract into your life. You and I have talked about that before. I know, as we've known each other for years, if you want positive things, then you think positive things. And that's what you attract to us. I mean, yes, some negative things happen, but I think if you go into this new year with that belief that you deserve only an abundance of health, an abundance of job security, you're going to do really remarkably well this year.
Yes. And I do a mantra. I am a goddess and I deserve to have abundance and love and prosperity surround me as I move forward in life. And I do that every day. And you know what? It happens. When I say prosperity and abundance, it doesn't always have to be the money. It's the people. And it's doing stuff like this that makes me feel like I have prosperity and abundance and the happiness. So Mr. Khan says, right on, he's on the path, but he wants to know, what does the next year look for us to? So how about we leave that till the end?
Yes,
but I do
have a question to ask Mr. Khan. Did you find a way to add a little romance and one-on-one time with your wife?
Well, we'll wait and see if he answers. So next is Patty and Jeanette. So I'll do Patty. Hello, Patty. Happy New Year. Please tell me if I will get a good man partner in 2022. Well, I hope so, because look at the card. I've been holding this card for you, and the Two of Water is normally relationships coming towards you. You do a little dance, you do a little shuffle, but I do think that relationship is coming, and an emotional type of person too, who isn't afraid to say what he wants to, or say what he feels, but sometimes he's afraid to hear what you're saying.
So,
okay. So
I just want to add something really quick to that. Try on a pair of shoes. Just don't pick the one guy. Try a few shoes.
My granny says if you didn't, well, actually it was Auntie Lil who said you had to test drive a few before you knew if you got the right one. And when she told me that, she was 80. And I was like, holy cow. And she'd only been married twice. Once the love of her life, and then to the next gentleman.
Granny Beardsley was her big piece of advice, and this might help you too, hon, is she said, and she was well into her age, she gave this piece of advice: you spend 5 nights with them, and you can private message me if you want to know what happens during those 5 nights. But she says you can wake up when they're drunk, hungover, sick, yicky, unshaven, and you still like the face you're looking at. Try and keep them.
Okay, so Jeanette is next.
Jeanette, Happy New Year. I chose, well, the card that came up for you is Pomegranate. I'm really starting to like these cards. Pomegranate says, you know what, like, this is another card that talks about meditation. The pomegranate is kind of like death and rebirth. Excuse me, it's actually what it represents as a tree. It represents death and rebirth. And it's how, if you remember, I'm never going to say her name right. Was it Periphesis? You know, the woman that Hades wanted to have a love affair with. And he fed her pomegranate seeds so that she could only spend half the year with her family and the other half the year in Hades with him. But this talks, like, this is where that rebirth and death come from. It talks about taking a little bit of time to focus on inspiration. So if this is the year that you want to start writing poetry or writing a small book about things that have gone on in your life and wisdom you want to share, this year coming up is the year for you to do that. Expand your horizons.
Okay, and I'm going to add to that because, Jeanette, what I really encourage to say is be the star in your life.
Yes.
Okay, you be the star. So next is Kim. We've done Denise, and then you'll have Melissa, and then we have Liam and Erica. So Kim, hello and Happy New Year's. You have the 10 of Waters, and look, you know,
oh, nice.
Little Buddha guy here, and it's like, visualize what you're looking for inside your life and put it into practice. That's what this next year is about for you, the visualization and then putting it into practice. So you're going to call a lot of meditation, rooting yourself, making sure your chakras are aligned. But as you do it, you put out there what your intention is, and then you put the action into making that intention happen. That's what I see for you this 2022.
Okay.
And Melissa is next. Hello, Melissa. Happy New Year.
Hello, Melissa. Happy New Year. Melissa, the cherry tree. One of the things I want you to pay really close attention to before I tell you what the cherries are about, cherry flowers are about, is do you see the volcano in the background? So the cherry tree says what its message to people is, let go of your anxieties. You can spend your whole life so overwhelmed with the possibilities of what if. I mean, we're not talking about the anxieties that require medication and treatment because that would be too easy and too pat an answer. There are people for that kind of help. But the anxieties where we go, oh my God, if I go out in the car and I need to go and get milk and what if? There are everyday anxieties that we spend all our times holding on to. And that anxiety could be something as simple as wanting to apply for that new job you've been looking at, and you wonder if you're not good enough. Well, I'll tell you one of the most amazing pieces of advice that was given to me. If they call you for that interview, then you were good enough to attract their attention.
Absolutely.
So if someone says hello to you and starts a friendship with you, or you get a promotion at work, set aside that anxiety so that you're not living always in fear of the volcano that may take another 2,000 years before it erupts. Live in this moment, in this next year. I want you to promise every morning to say to yourself, and not to me, promise to yourself, I am going to live in this moment. Because the reality is that's all you've got. And you can, so really hold on to that positive thought that you are good enough. And this is the only moment. A wise person once said to me, what if this was the last breath you spoke? What do you want people to remember about you? You hold the key to everything that you're doing in the next year. So good luck, Happy New Year, and you rock, and you've got this.
Hi, Liam. Happy New Year. Hope you and your wife had a fantastic Christmas. Saw the ring. Yay. About time, buddy. Anyways.
Did you already read for Liam?
Nope. 3 of water, which is cups. But what this makes me think of is not just celebration, but this is pearls of wisdom come to you throughout the year. When you least expect it, there will be that aha moment, that pearl of wisdom that says you're headed in the right direction, put it down, don't touch it, or just keep going forward. So keep that in mind. Yours is all about pearls of wisdom, whether you've asked for them or not, they are coming towards you. Okay, next is Erica.
Erica. Okay. I was so busy listening to D'Arcy's message, which was so cool. Erica, the date palm.
Date. Yay. Okay, sorry.
Well, I actually kind of like dates. I wouldn't know. I haven't dated in a while, but I'm aiming towards that, right? The thing about a date tree is it learns to bend with the wind. Most trees do. The date tree talks about being graceful. You know, the thing about, like, I've actually seen these. To me, I've always mistaken them for palm trees as well. But you see them swaying in the wind, and like they bend almost over backwards, and they survive and they don't break easily. Remind yourself of that. And I don't know if you can see that bird, but listen to the universe around you. There is a spirit watching over you all the time. There are messages waiting for you everywhere if you pay attention to the signs. So in this next year, remember to bend gracefully under pressure. You know, so a message that was given to me this year, and I think this might help you, is instead of when you're under pressure going, oh God, I have to do this or I have to see that person, use a different term and say, I get to.
Why not? I want to.
Even both would work. I want to, but the thing is, you know that you're going to. And if you can't quite stomach, I want you, I get to. It puts a positive spin and it helps you move gracefully under pressure.
Okay. So Elaine said, cool, awesome, thank you, love the reading. I saw the yin and yang right away. We'll be asking a lot of yes and no answers. Happy New Year, guys. So Orville is next, and then Mastora, which is Mr. Khan's wife. And I just have a little ha-ha for you, dear, because you say, what does next year look like for me? Oh my God, you're going to be in labor.
Just ignore her.
Okay. Okay, so Orville, Happy New Year's. Strength. Again, your mom, Mary, is around you so much right now. I don't know what you're up to, but she's sure keeping an eye on you. And it's almost like she's sending messages, and I want to say the raven is coming towards you, and I don't know if you actually do the dance or not, but there's something about you doing some sort of dance, some sort of recognition dance, some dance for, okay, we all know it's First Nations dance, but there's something you're doing that's bringing in your new year, and she's telling you to go easy on the alcohol. She says that it's no good, and in August, you've got a message coming to you from, it feels like a brother. So this is someone either who is a brother or you treat as a brother, and they will be coming forward to tell you something of great importance that will change a few lives.
And if I'm not mistaken, Orville, you're hitting your 18th or 20th year of sobriety. So job well done.
Yes, excellent. Okay, so next is Ms. Tora.
Who?
Mr. Khan's wife.
How do you say her name?
Ms. Tora.
Hello, Miss Tora. For you, the banyan tree. Isn't that a beautiful tree? First, I think if what you're asking for, when you look, you're moving forward in such a positive direction, and the universe and the forest. See, I connect a lot with forest and trees, but it talks about embracing you. Like when I look at this, I think of embracing, that you are going to be embraced with, and this is a hint, Mr. Khan, although I don't know you, a lot of emotional support and a lot of bonding with your partner. Hint that romantic little just for two before the baby comes, and I'm just pushing it out there. And as for part of what it's saying for the year is that you have such a generosity of spirit. And I don't know who this is that's speaking to me, but they're saying you're very good at knowing when people need something, but you're not very good at saying, I need this. So, you know, that amazing support, emotional and partnership or support. Sometimes you can't, take no offense when I say this to the men out there, but I had a teacher once. His name was Mr. Verdig. And he said, when dealing with men, Penelope, you must understand that we're blind and we're stupid half the time when it comes to the women in our lives. We think they want flowers, and that's not what they want. If they just tell us. So make a point in this next year to speak your mind just a little bit and allow people to give you what you give to others so willingly.
Yes, and I still say she's gonna be in labor.
Well, of course she is. She's pregnant. And I believe that the baby is fine. And so
the baby's perfect. I've seen 10 fingers and 10 toes. So I also feel like you're going to do a lot, obviously, with family this year, but just take it in stride. All right. So Brandy says, thank you. Then we have Heather, and then we have Jeannie. She says, oh, also Brandon's friend just passed unexpectedly this morning and needs a card. So Brandon, Jeannie and Brandon. So I'll do Heather, and I'm really sorry for Brandon's loss.
Truly.
Heather, you have the 6 of coins. It says Earth here, but this is your foundation. This is making more money. This is to let you know that there's a gentleman around you. I don't know if that's father or grandfather, but there's someone on the other side saying that they're there for you and that you're magnificent in the way you are now, and not to be afraid to walk with pride as you move forward. And also congratulations on the new job. That's the other thing I'm sort of being told to say to you. So it could be that you have a new job coming towards you, and that just take it in stride. So I'll let you do Jeannie and Brandon. I'd like to say I can hear from his friend, but I can't. But just so you know who else passed today? Betty White, 99 years old. I'm hoping to be 102.
Now, I promise I didn't flip through the deck to find the right card, but this card talks about healing. And the thing about healing is healing takes time. And I think that for both of
Brandon.
you and Brandon, but particularly I'm reading for Brandon at the moment, this is a time of healing for you. And in that healing, you also need to be able to respect yourself. You're another person, this whole year, I think about some of the message for almost everybody this year. It's about respect. And it's about finding ways to treat yourself with respect and to treat other people around you with respect. Remember, grief, whether it is a friend or a family member, grief has no time limit. And if someone says, oh, well, they were only a friend, I'm not recommending that you say this, but I have thought more than once, one of the most profound deaths next to our brothers in my life was the death of a close friend. It literally devastated me for weeks and took me a good couple of years before I could speak of her without wanting to burst into tears. So grief is personal. Take this next few months to grieve, but also take this next few months to know that they're with you, whether you can hear them or see them, or whether we sense them or not. There is always a portion of them that is with you as long as you keep them alive in your memory. And it was Heather was the other person?
No, Jeannie and Brandon.
Okay, Jeannie. Well, the first thing I think, well, I'm looking for the meaning of this, is bountifulness in this next year. That there is healing. The brown cards talk about healing. But when I look at this card, I think, wow, there's going to be so much bounty in your life where things just come falling over towards you. So really prepare yourself for a lot of different opportunities that are going to come up. a lot of changes that could really be helpful to you. And give thanks for the bountifulness as well that you're about to receive. I don't think that you don't give thanks, but sometimes, even if it's just something as simple as, I do a lot of, I follow a lot of Indigenous culture because of our grandmother Beardsley and our mother Ruby. And part of what I do is, like, if I'm having a dinner, which I will make a really nice dinner tomorrow, is to remember to thank the universe, thank the grandmothers and grandfathers. I will put a portion of that meal aside and take it outside and leave it by a tree for them. And yes, I've heard the naysayers and everybody else explain to me that it's the birds or the wild animals or the neighborhood cats. But we don't know how spirit manifests itself. And we should always give thanks for everything that we have received and for what we are about to receive. So make this a year of appreciating the bountifulness of your year. Don't be afraid of it. Just remember to give thanks as it occurs.
Okay. So Kim and Amanda say thank you and you're welcome. And then we have Marie, Kat, Hilda sends a heart. Then we have our cousin Faye, her daughter Lily. So next, Marie. Marie, you have here the Wheel of Fortune. And what I think about the Wheel of Fortune is always you're going to be in the driver's seat. But this year, it's about how you spend your money and what you do with your money and how you are careful with your money and not going silly-nilly. But because there's a heart up here, it also makes me think that there's the possibility of romance or advancing romance for yourself. And it's how you do it that counts the most. Like if you go in it like a bear with a sore paw, that's exactly the kind of romance you're going to have. But if you go into it with more of a light feeling to life, you're going to find things fall into place a lot easier. So take it easy and remember, kindness goes a long way.
And just one little tidbit, when D'Arcy says a bear with a sore paw, try not to swipe the head off of the person that tries to make your paw feel better.
Yeah. So next is Kat. Hello, Kat.
Happy New Year. And for you, Kat, the European beech tree. This talks about, this talks about the possibility that in this next year, you're going to have an opportunity to go to school, whether it's online school or on continuous education learning. But this is a year where lots and lots of learning is going to be offered to you, education, experience, and you shouldn't be afraid to accept it, to just embrace it. And remember that while you're learning, you can also reinforce what you learned by teaching it to give forward to the universe.
And the other thing about all the roots made me think about her foundation, really reinforcing her foundation this year.
Excuse me, being strong.
Yeah. Hello, Cousin Faye. How are you, honey?
You just made me think of a house, or your house just knee deep in snow.
Faye, I have the Hierophant here, and this is owning your power, but it's also allowing you to speak the spirit this year. So being more in tune with the messages coming towards you and being more open to understanding the messages. Your son is going to be a guide. Okay. And I don't know who Frank is to you, but I'm hearing someone by the name of Frank who's going to hang out and be helping you as well. So next is Lily, her daughter.
Lily. Okay. So ironically enough, Lily, this is the card I pulled for you. Cold snow. Yes, I know, but it is such a beautiful card too. I don't want you to focus on the horrible cold. I want you to instead focus on how beautiful it is. And this card is actually falls into two places. So I'm going to choose the one that most makes me think of you. And this is about constructing your life. it's sort of, the thing about snow and winter is a time that we take time to regenerate, much like the earth regenerates, right? And this is the year that coming up that you will now start laying the foundation of the rest of your life. Start building the life you want. Not the life everyone else thinks you should have for yourself, but the life that you want. You know what? I was watching a video recently that said, this is your life. You only have this life. So you want to buy a new house, buy a new house. You want to build a house, build a new house. Don't let your age, don't let your financial situation limit you. There are ways to achieve your dream. So those dreams that you've been holding on to your whole life and always putting off because somebody said, oh no, or you weren't good enough, scrap all that this year. Start building the rest of your life. Sort of like the flower beds. Get rid of the things you don't want. Someone planted lilies and you don't want lilies. Well, why the hell do you have to keep lilies, baby? No.
Maybe because her name's Lily.
not because that, but if you don't want something, then get rid of it, weed it out.
Oh, no. I'm just because I don't want it doesn't mean that I don't need it later, so I'm going to put it away somewhere.
I work on the premise that if you're building your life, I don't use it for 6 months, it's gone.
That's true. But unloading everything and making space for my soon-to-be treadmill that's going to sit behind me, I found a device I didn't even know I had. And it's like, hot damn, I'm going to be grounding roast beef tomorrow.
See, and I, on the other hand, I'm very much that accountant that I have a running inventory of everything I have.
Well, normally I know, but I guess I bought this on the spur of the moment. Okay, so next is Phyllis, and then it's Catherine, Lily's other daughter. So, Phyllis, honey, I have for you the message of fire. So, it's okay to piss people off, but make sure whoever you're pissing off isn't one of those people that wait until they can get even, okay? So think before you speak this year. It's going to be really important. And sometimes it is good to hold into our little secrets, but if you got heartburn going on, girl, there, you need to go get it checked. Whether it's just literally heartburn because you ate bread yesterday and you shouldn't have been eating bread, then you know what to do for it. You take some antacid. But if it's more than that, Phyllis, I'm telling you this year, pay attention to your health and be on top of it.
Good idea.
Oh, and it says here, I just read down, she says, will my health issues stabilize in 2022? Well, I'm going to say, I just said, you need to be on top of it to make sure it does stabilize. So it's really going to be up to you.
And it really is.
Catherine is next.
Catherine, Happy New Year, honey. For you, the holly, that's one of the things I miss about living in BC is to find holly growing wild. I don't know if it still does, but it did when we were kids in such abundance. This is a good time for you not to confuse yourself with what you think is fact and what you think isn't, what you think is fiction. Like, start writing down the things that are bothering you, and to find out when you're doing that in this next year, especially in this next month or two, when you find yourself thinking, am I thinking something that is right or wrong, like fictional or reality sort of based thoughts, write them down and say, if it feels true, I'm a big believer, if it feels true, then sometimes it must be true. And
okay, I'd have a real hard time with that because half the time I don't know what's real and what's not real. And
the fact that you're willing to admit that on public air, just, I want you to just think about that.
I'm fine.
But what I'm talking about is whether you more along the lines of whether or not you think people don't like you, basically what I'm trying to say is listen to your empathic abilities. So I don't know if if you walk into a room and you think that John in the corner genuinely is sending off negative vibes, trust me, he probably is sending off a negative energy towards you. So,
but let's correct that. It may not be towards her. It could be that he's just a negative person was sitting there and she's picking it up.
And that's equally possible. The message here is to trust what you believe is true or false.
Yeah, just think of me. And if it feels right and they're not liking you, stick your tongue out. Works wonders. Makes people laugh.
Happy New Year, hon.
And you do have a different job coming for you.
Definitely.
Okay, Kathy said red is her favorite color. It's one of my favorite colors. It's taken years for me to fit into this shirt and be able to wear it. And Shar said, thank you. Letting go is going to be hard, but she will work at it. It's one day at a time, Shar. Pick one thing and slowly work at it. And if you slide back, don't worry about it. There's nothing wrong with sliding back. It's the fact that you're willing to move forward is what's going to really count this next year.
Definitely. Definitely.
And Kathy said, thank you. Tracy says, thank you. Mr. Khan is taking his wife to her favorite restaurant.
Good for you.
Patty says, thank you. Hilda says, thank you, ladies. Always amazing reading. I really appreciate it so much. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year's to you both. And to all that is on here tonight. And to all who is on here tonight. Denise says, thank you. Liam says, thank you. And we have Sandra Murray. Hi, Sandra. I know.
Hi, honey.
So excited. Sandra, sometimes we get the feeling that we need to call people, okay? And we'll sit there and we'll go, no, I'll just leave it. And I'm going to use a really good example about listen to your instincts. If you feel you need to call someone because something doesn't feel right, listen to it. Because it would be a year and a half ago now, because we're coming into the new year. And I had a dream in the middle of the night of my brother, our brother. And I dreamt that he came towards me. We're stuck in the mud. And there were all these police and ambulance. And I said to him, do you hear them? He goes, hear what? I said, can't you hear the ambulances? He said, no. Well, I wanted to phone him in the morning to say, is everything okay? And I thought, it was just a dumb dream. Okay, granted, Granny B, when I woke up, said, cut Sean some slack. And I thought, okay, so I won't call. Well, I didn't call, and 7 o'clock that night, I got a call. He was in the hospital because he had a stroke at work. So if I had called him and said, hey, are you paying attention to yourself? Maybe he would have gone to the hospital sooner.
I remember because I had called you the day before and said, weirdest thing going on all the time. I feel like I'm being chased by ambulances. Like I'd be driving to work and I'd literally be pulling over because I thought I saw an ambulance. And I remember you joking and saying, oh, maybe you should drive a little slower or something.
So anyways, you're going to feel the need to call someone or call many people this next year. So pay attention. If you're making changes, if you're traveling, if you're retiring, this is your call. That's the other portion of it. It's your call. Okay. So let's see who's next. Liam said thank you. Erica said thank you. Orville, I don't drink. Thank you. He's been sober 18 years. You should be very proud of yourself. And he said, awesome reading. He will have to go back and watch as he was busy typing in my last comment about sobriety. Okay. Catherine, yes, honey, yours was. Now, Tora said, thank you. Faye, they left and she said the reading wasn't done yet. Alia, A-L-I-A. H-A. I always have a hard time saying her name. She's next. She's yours.
Oh, okay.
So you're going to get so used to me not being able to say your name.
The boa bob tree. this card is actually what this card represents is that the universe will give you everything that you need this year will be provided to you. If you look, you see that there's a watering, what are they called? Rain barrel underneath the tree. Waiting. Yes. Un momento, por favor. Give me a second, guys.
Okay. Looks like a milk barrel.
A what?
It looks like a milk barrel.
It's a rain barrel, and what it's talking about is if you believe that the universe will provide for you and you set things in place that will help you, the universe will provide for you and you will be very successful this year. Also, it talks about getting your roots grounded. And this, everybody, is Malcolm, my soon-to-be 16-year-old Tuxedo Tom, feeling a little lonely, so bear with us. Hey.
Okay, so Jessica is next. Hello, Jessica. Then Cheyenne. Jeannie said thank you and Happy New Year. Heather said thank you, and she just got a new job in October. Are you saying it's another new job? The gentleman is her Papa Tom. Okay, yes, I am saying another new job. And then Maria, laugh out loud. Thank you, ladies. Sandra, Happy New Year. Faith, thank you. So Jessica and then Cheyenne. So Jessica, I have for you the 6 of Waters, which is cups. And this is normally moving from difficulties into a smoother area. But this also makes me think that there's something going on with your stomach as well. So paying attention to it, stress does wonderful things for us or to us, whichever way you want to look at that. So be on top of your health this year. Just pay attention. We're all in tune to our own health more so even than our doctors. So just pay attention. If something's telling you to get it checked, go get it checked. Some dental work here that needs to be done. And just take your time as you move forward. You don't have to do everything at once. Like, okay, maybe I could have done a slower motion of moving things around today instead of starting like at 10 and just keep going through until just before the show. But the thing is, take your time because eventually it's going to get done. So don't be afraid to put it on the back burner and come back to it on a different day. Mm-hmm. Okay, Cheyenne is next. Hello, hi, Cheyenne.
Happy New Year. The Achaia, is that Achaia? I can't figure out how to pronounce this. This is a tree that talks about
I think it's acacia.
Acacia. First, acacia berries are very important in health and stuff. So always remember to touch base with your health. That's something that's being spoken to about. Is that even though you have, this card talks about your trust issues in the next year. And trust is something that is hard earned and hard won. But sometimes you've got to have faith in people. So trust in your own instincts this next year. Trust in those that show that they are trying to help you. Trust that they are genuinely trying to do what's best for you. You don't have to listen to all that advice. God knows that I very often do not listen to what people think is best for me. But, every once in a while, just take a deep breath and wonder, and say to yourself, am I not listening because, I don't think the world cares about me, or am I not listening because I'm afraid to hear something? And really focus on your health, focus on your trust issues and moving forward in the world. It's about moving forward this year for you. And again, trees, once again, talk about their phenomenal root system and their ability to stay steadfast and true to where they are. You don't have to move off of your path just because someone else says that isn't the path for you.
Yeah, sometimes the road less taken is the best road to be on.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have Holly who's next. And she says, hi, D'Arcy and Penelope. Could you please pull a card or tell me if there are any messages for me or husband Bill, who lost his brother December 25th?
Oh, I'm so sorry, Bill.
Yeah, that's 2 so far. And I'm sorry for your loss. but don't allow it to infringe on the day in years to come. Use it to celebrate his existence. I'm going to tell you, Holly, that he made it to heaven. He's not alone. All right. Angels on the other side helped him cross. I'm not feeling this was a long journey. Like this was years and years of having to suffer to find his way. And to Bill, I would tell him it's time and patience with himself for not recognizing the need to be present. And I don't know if they mean he wasn't there or whether he means present in his brother's life. All right. What I'm feeling is he needs to cut himself some slack. Definitely. But I do feel that he has made it to heaven. And I don't know where the name Jim comes in because a little while ago I could feel my own brother here. So I don't know whether Jim, John, Jake, Jerry, if that JG sound comes in, like in George. But I am feeling some sort of sound like that around him. So I'm just going to say, I know he's not alone. Okay. Christina said she wants us to, and I will hand on the thank you to Sean, because I guess he literally shook her up, and I have no idea what he said. But I'll let you read for Christina. Guess it was for Christmas. I just don't remember what it was.
Neither can I. But he's very good at what he does. The Suji tree. And people, if you know the meaning of this, feel free to correct me. This talks about how the people around you haven't always been supportive. And, D'Arcy said something in her last message about someone cutting themselves some slack. Sometimes we have to cut other people a little bit of slack as well. They probably might not be as supportive as you need them right now. And I know you're feeling kind of alone out there in the universe. But moving forward, remember that everyone is feeling a little bit overwhelmed. Everyone has a story to tell. And the best way to have people connect more with you is to be willing to make those connections. And I know that is hard to do. If I know for myself, I tend to prefer my own company and get a little bit isolated. And it isn't in my case that I don't think people care. It's more just that I really like my own home and space. But I also know that people are out there if I want to connect. And in this next year, you really need to have that support because there's going to be a few changes for you. Good changes, but even with good changes, sometimes too much good can be equally overwhelming, and it's nice to have someone to talk to bat that idea off of. And do me a favor, kind of maybe get your eyes checked. It might have been a while. I'm being told that you're not seeing things clearly, and I don't mean you're not seeing the universe clearly. It's literally you're not seeing things clearly. Eyes, vision.
All right. So Lily said, laugh out loud. Thank you. Phyllis says, thank you. She does need to bite her tongue at times. Catherine says, thank you and Happy New Year. Sandra Murray, she didn't think we could see her, but thank you and Happy New Year, she says. Then we have a lovely cut night, and I'll be right back to you, dear. And Alia says, thank you. And then we have Kelly. Hi, Kelly.
Hi, Kelly.
And then Jessica says thank you. Then we have Lisa. Cheyenne says thank you. And so, lovely cut knife. No, you have not missed us. You have the 10 of fire. Okay. And this makes me think of burning money. So be careful about what you're doing with your money. I wouldn't suggest burning money. I would say, you get fake money and burn it, but don't burn the real stuff. But this is also taking pages outside of it's not, I know what I'm after here. Taking ideas and making the idea happen and then burning it because you don't need to go back to it. Okay, so an idea, a plan, a desire, a dream, you're slowly going through them. There'll be 10 over the next year, so that you're going to even them out quite nicely, but you are achieving dreams, desires, expectations of yourself over this next year, and you are being very proud and very strong about what you're doing, and you're going forward in such a way that it feels very positive, very upbeat, and you're going to have a fantastic year. I'm not saying that there aren't going to be some pit holes, like, hidden, what are those things in the road? Potholes, when you least expect it. But the thing is, you're going to get through it. So be strong, be brave, be kind. Okay, so Kelly, hello, honey. How are you? Happy New Year's. God, I can hardly wait to meet her.
Oh, she's precious.
So go ahead.
For you, the ash tree. Yes, I noticed there's a little fire, but this is not just setting fire to your universe. The fire talks about warmth and security and adding brightness and adding love and laughter to your life. The ash tree, ironically enough, talks about, you're fearless, and you've got to remember that you're fearless. So, excuse me, if something doesn't work out, move on. And I know you're capable of that. Don't wait as long. Don't try to plow your way through something. Just go, you know what? I gave it my best shot. What in God's name am I doing? Pushing myself into something I don't like or I don't want. So your message this year is go into the next year here coming up fearlessly, with abandonment and a sense of adventure, knowing that you've got this. Because you do, babes.
Okay, and Kelly, and this is only because you're my niece and my favorite one that I know. I'm all for you. I think you're my only niece.
I was going to say, well played.
This is the Queen of Air, and look at that owl there, the white owl, which makes me, of course, think of my dad, your grandfather, because he used to smoke white owls. But it also makes me think of how strong and how intuitive you are, and that you should really be listening to it and know that knowledge is never a bad thing, contrary to what some people will say to you. Knowledge is great. A little knowledge goes a long way. I know it can get me into trouble every time I use it. So, and I got a distinct impression you and I are of kindred hearts. So I am going to say that be aware of your surroundings, know who you're talking to, and listen to spirit.
Yes.
Okay. So we did get Lovely Cut Knife. Love her name. Jessica says thank you and Happy New Year's. Lisa, we haven't done She's Yours. Cheyenne says thank you. Sandra, thank you. Shar said hello to Jeannie. So I don't see her, but I guess she's online here. And then Ilya's asked a question. So, Lisa, for you?
Lisa, the bristlecone pine. One of the things this talks about is persistence. I mean, pine trees grow damn near anywhere. And although it may feel like you're going into the new year with some difficulties you can already see ahead, just know that this is a year where you will be able to smooth out a lot of your difficulties with perseverance and determination. I don't mean bulldog, but genuine, gentle determination. The problem with a bull running through the shop, the crystal shop, is something's going to get broken. So just sort of pull that kind of determination and persistence back a little bit, and those struggles are going to be quickly overcome. And I'm also being told to tell you, you have a beautiful smile, and you don't smile very often, so practice smiling more.
Great. So, Shar, for Jeannie, I pulled the Two of Fires. And as you can see, this is an elephant with God, I am so...
Elephant?
I'm challenged. This is a giraffe, and I love giraffes, one of my favorite animals next to cats. And you notice that it's holding the light a little lower, and the light's not so much directing it, but directing the person who's in the driver's seat. So, and it also makes me feel that the light's representative of a spirit who's around you, who's guiding you, like a father, grandfather, uncle, and they're helping you move in direction of where you want to be. And the giraffe makes me think of air because of how tall they are. And the fact that there isn't anything that they can't reach, because they've been known to get up on their tippy toes to get to that branch that has its nectar and its fruit and veggies for it. So I'm going to say, don't be afraid to reach beyond your own limitations. And I do not mean get on a stool and reach up somewhere where you shouldn't be reaching. I'm talking about a metaphysical reach beyond your bounds this year.
Well said. Well said.
Okay, now we have Ilya. She says, hi, I have a guy I'm talking to online. Will this go further? That's up to you. But anyways, okay, yeah, it's up to you, but
it really is up to you.
Yeah, but you get to answer her question is what I meant.
And no, that's what I'm saying. It really is up to you. Again, the thing about online is always remember, we can be anyone we want to be online. And there is subtext in everything, man or woman, and I'm not being biased here. We can say that we are anything. So you can't suddenly fall in love with someone just because they sound good on paper or they sound good online and they know all the right things to say. There was a play once about that where the guy who had the big nose, he wanted to woo a woman and he had a friend write all the beautiful lines. And, in the fantasy world, the woman fell in love with the guy with the big nose regardless. But that doesn't always happen in the real world. So until you've met him, gotten to know him, talked to him a couple of times, I'd say, I can't tell you if this person is the one, because only you will know if they're right for you when you meet them.
Absolutely. So Mr. Khan had asked us a question as we've come to the end of the people. And he said, what do we see the year holding for us? So I'll tell you what, I just shuffled the cards. I'm going to pull a card for you. And we'll see what your year has to. Oh, that's where it came off. No, I don't like it.
Oh, wait, I don't want that one for her. Wait, no, I don't like that one.
I got to do it again. Those weren't what I was expecting. So
what?
No. The cards got stuck. Okay, let's try it again. Okay. Well, and also, I want to pull a card for Marion because, okay, those cards, they stuck together, so I'll pull them again. But I'm going to pull a card for Marion since she's the one who gave me these cards tonight. Patience is a virtue. So I'm going through all the cards for Penelope. Patience is a virtue. Be patient. Love is on the horizon. Be prepared for love. Money is something that you will be putting together. Hey, keep in mind, love isn't always about relationship. And then the moon is your limit.
In case you didn't hear that laugh.
Okay, so that's what it says.
We know my personal viewpoint on romance and Penelope.
Well, I did not say romance. I said love.
Either, so regardless.
No.
When it comes to romantic love.
No, I didn't say romantic love.
1, 2, 3. I'm going to use the deck my son gave me for Christmas, the Wild Tarot for you. New beginnings. Possibly a move. Definitely money coming towards you.
I'm winning the lottery.
I didn't say that, and I am not going to give you numbers for a lottery, but this is money coming towards you, and you know what? Heart health, patience. Practice a little more patience in the next coming year.
I'm working on it.
There you go.
Okay, so Marion, I picked the Hanged Man, except he wasn't hanged upside down. And this is take a breath, stand still, balance yourself, and be prepared for a shift or a change. So now, what I want to say is we are moving into 2022. So for those of you who know that I love to work with numbers and with our year, so what you're going to do, 2022 becomes a 6 year. Okay, that's what it becomes because that's the year. If you add it all together, 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 6. 2, yeah. Use my fingers there, folks. Now,
I'm sorry.
I am born on the 9 and the 9, which is 18. And my pen stopped working. I want to show you what this does. Anyone got a pen? Send it over. Okay. Oops. Let's see if one of these works. Okay. So let's see if this works. So it's a 6 year. I am born 9 plus 9, which is 18, which is 9. And 9 plus 6 equals a 5 year. So can you see that? There's your math. 6 is the year. I am going into a 5 year, even though it's a 6 year, I'm going into 5 year. And that means 5 is about transition, change, entrepreneurship, thinking outside of the box, trying to fit a round peg into a square hole. So let's see what Penelope is. 8 and 25, 7 and 15 and 6 and 6 is 12. She's a 3 year. So hers is all about balance this year. It's literally standing on one foot, putting bags in each hand and seeing which bag is heavier. And sometimes, even though one bag is lighter than the other, could be that they're the same weight. Yes, so that is how you figure out the year you are going into now. So give it a shot. And I hope all of you have a fantastic new year. It's still going to be a little tight, you know, with the new Omicron, did I say that right? Out, it makes it a little harder because you can't even tell you have symptoms until you find out you do. So be on top of your health, and please mask just for safety's sake. And most important of all, remember, those you love are really important that you tell them, because sometimes we forget. We forget that people love us because we are isolated. And for anyone who knows of someone who's locked in at home, an elderly person, you know, someone that doesn't have family, please give them a shout and just say, hey, how are you doing? All right. And, you know, just have a fantastic day.
Definitely. And for all of you, I wish you a year full of just enough joy, laughter, and sorrow so that you truly appreciate life. I would love to say I wish you a year without sorrow, but without a little bit of sorrow and sadness, we never appreciate the true beauty and joy of life. So a joyous year. Happy New Year. D'Arcy's absolutely right. Please be safe. I lovingly refer to the latest version as the Transformer virus.
Yeah.
It makes me think of Transformers, maybe Decepticons. I'll end this with Masalama, go in light and blessed be.
And may love, joy, peace, happiness, and prosperity find you all in mysterious ways. And I will be on tomorrow to do the whole year spread of what our year looks by month. And on Sunday, I'll be doing the week prior, or the week from Sunday forward. Yeah, the week prior, everyone. I'll do from Sunday forward with the cards. So have a look on Facebook or YouTube. And like I said, if you would like to book a full reading, you can get hold of Penelope through Facebook and through myself. It is at my website, which is really easy for me to do this and just show you where my website is. Okay? You'll have a fantastic night, and we will see you in the new year.
In the new year.
Blessed be everyone.